Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of An Unbreakable World by Ren Hutchings. This is a book coming September 9th, 2025 from Solaris. It's a sci-fi book. I received an ARC from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. A space opera of isolated worlds and learning that who you are is who you are now and not who you were, An Unbreakable World is a mix of cozy and adventurous. What's it about? If something seems too good to be real, you've got to get out of there. That's the rule that Paige Found has always followed. She's a petty thief with no memory of her past, scrounging to survive in a backwater outpost, until she's kidnapped by one of her marks. Her kidnappers, the cruel, self-serving Zack and the tough maverick Mael, plan to pass Paige off as a monk from an ancient, isolated planet to help them capture a treasure-filled ship. If Paige is willing to play along, they all stand to become richer than they can imagine. Everyone is keeping secrets, and Mael finds her loyalties conflicted as she gets closer to their captive. Paige can't remember the last time she counted on anyone, but to navigate this deception, she and Mael will have to trust each other to survive. Let me start by saying that Ren's first novel, Under Fortunate Stars, was a favorite of mine from 2023. I believe it was my favorite science fiction book of that year. I have the hardcover, which is saying a lot because I tend to not buy a hardcover very much. So I was super excited when I saw this new book on Instagram, that she had another one coming out. I definitely enjoyed this one, but I wasn't as into it as I was with Under Fortunate Stars. Perhaps it's because I wanted those characters back, or maybe I just have read too many heist books this year. Though to be fair, this book seems like a heist book, but it's barely a heist book. I didn't love it. Yet, let me tell you about the good stuff. The points of views are really interesting. We have Paige, the amnesiac thief who, to her knowledge, has never left the decrepit space station she's been living on. Her experiencing worlds again was really fun to read and kind of gave it that cozy element. You're like, oh, she gets to experience strawberries and stuff like that, that she's never had before. I thought that was really fun. And then there's Mael, whose motivations and goals are revealed slowly to us as they are, as they are to Paige, which was really cleverly done because she kind of comes off at the start as one thing, and then she slowly evolves over time. And I thought that was really well done. And that was something that Hutchings did really well with her other book, was this kind of slow character development. And then there's also Dahlia, who grows from a young girl to a young woman in a household ruled by her uncle, where she's expected to learn to govern despite being essentially a shut-in. Her situation reveals to the reader how the politics and society on Tyre functions, though I could have used a point of view actually out and about in that to kind of get almost more of an idea, because I didn't really understand how the government really worked. I understand a world probably doesn't need imports, but it was just, I don't know, I could have used a little bit more of that, but I also am really interested in government functions, so that might just be me. The world building is extensive, and there are snippets throughout that build on it. Yet one thing I felt disappointed about was the lack of aliens in the story. They are mentioned enough to make them seem important, but that sort of fizzles out. As someone who loves aliens, I was a little disappointed about that. I do love the idea of a story on the periphery of kind of a war, but you can't talk about aliens and then give me no aliens. Especially as I was hoping for more of the aliens that were in Under Fortunate Stars, which are the same aliens, because I think this must be set 30 or so, or some years after this war in An Unbreakable World, because, yeah, anyway. I kind of wished, I was kind of hoping to see more of those people. Aside from that, which was minor really, I think what really held me back from loving this story was the pacing. While Under Fortunate Stars is also a character-driven story with a rather slow-moving plot, there are far more character points of views, so the story moves along at a good clip as we're learning about kind of all of them, and then they're interacting and things like that. In this one, there was kind of a small cast, and it just seemed like it took a while to really get started. I wasn't sure why Paige was so hesitant to partake in the offer that was given to her, because she literally has nothing else going for her. Just do it. It just felt like it took far too long to get moving. She spends a lot of time moaning about not knowing her past without thinking that maybe the money from this job could help her figure this out. I don't know. She just waffled a bit much, I found, and I was like, let's go. The rest of the plot is quite languid, which I didn't mind, but there's a twist near the end that I will admit I saw coming from the start. The alternative would have been too obvious, so I was like, there really is only one alternative here that would make sense. So rather than the reveal being oh, wow, I was kind of like, oh, right, I assumed that. So maybe that's just me having read too many books. But overall, I really did enjoy this book, though. Like, it's a solid, entertaining space opera with an interesting world building, easy to follow prose, and good characters. It's great if you want something a little cozy, but not too light. I guess it's one of those things where, you just have such extremely high hopes because you loved the first book, and then it's almost like the second book's, like, never gonna live up to that. So I apologize to the author. I hope this, if you see this review, that it's not disheartening. I can't wait for a third book. More aliens, please. So thanks for, why am I holding this one up? Thanks for checking out this review, and thank you again to NetGalley and the publisher for the e-arc. I really appreciate it. Thanks.